It was pretty tight between McLaren and Aston Martin. In the end, the papaya of McLaren prevailed by 22 points. But in terms of turnarounds for the season, I mean, this was like Lazarus. This was, it started appallingly. 29 points, I think it was, in the first 9 races. Upgrade in Austria. Thanks very much. We're all right now.
Yeah, they were last in the Constructors' Championship a couple of races into the season. It looked awful, didn't it? And Oscar Piastri, who had changed his mind not going to Alpine, must have wondered if he'd made a terrible mistake. But the good news for the team is every time they brought an update for that car, it worked superbly, suggesting the calibration of all of the wind tunnel, the digital wind tunnel, CFD, the track, the stopwatch, was all matching up, and they've done a tremendous job. Andrea Stella has really grown into the position at the team, the commerciality of the team through Zach. Car looks great, lots of important sponsors on it, a brilliant driver lineup, it turns out, and everything's really gelled for them.
I often wondered how much James Key was a bit of a scapegoat for it, because he went, didn't he, on the basis of that launch car not being up to scratch. They knew it right from the start, though, and said, look, we've got a fix coming in, but you're just going to have to wait a while. And they did so, and they've put in a new kind of management structure as well, which we were talking about early on, Naomi, and it seems to be paying off, and he seems to be extremely popular, Andrea Stella.
Well, look, the results speak for themselves. Yeah. And honestly, I think they have been astonishing in the way that they've turned the situation around. It kind of makes you scratch your head and wonder why some other teams on the grid haven't been able to do the same thing in such a short space of time. I mean, yes, it doesn't happen overnight, but for them, it did really seem to go, OK, we've made this decision, we're sticking to it, and it's paid off. And what an incredible job they've done for themselves. As you said, 2 incredible drivers. They really did take advantage of what they had in terms of equipment in front of them. When they had the car to do it, they made it happen, and the results were there. So many podiums.
Oscar Piastri has really sharpened Lando Norris up.
I totally
Lando
agree.
had to get on with it a little bit, because Piastri's turned up as a rookie, delivering the high speeds through the really challenging corners, delivering some amazing results, made some rookie errors as well. But I think that's really driven both drivers on, and probably just what Lando needed, because I think in the second half of the season, Lando Norris has been outstanding. He
was, actually. When you look at the stats there too, since Singapore, aside from the Red Bull drivers, Naomi, he's the masked the most. I think about, we talk about team leaders. McLaren are going to have to start really challenging for wins soon, aren't they, if they're to keep hold of someone of the talent of Lando Norris. The trajectory's got to keep going the way it's going, because this guy seems special, isn't he?
He is special. He has been waiting very long already to get to this point. And you've got to say that, now they are as close as they've ever been, at least in the time that Lando has been with the team, to potentially have those wins. I had the chance to sit down with Lando twice this season, and he maintains the fact that he will become world champion with this team. Yeah. He seems fully committed to them. He wants to win his first race with them, and he believes it's going to happen next season. Exactly. So everything shows that looks like it could be possible. That's all going to depend on how far down the road Red Bull's going to be. But I have some faith that the teams are reining them in, and hopefully we will see something papaya on the top step next year.
If you've got faith, that's all they want to hear. But yeah, I mean, do you think that's actually achievable for them next year?
I do, and let's remember that Oscar Piastri won the sprint race in Qatar, didn't he? In great style, with Max trying to catch him. So I think they're just starting to get there. Their new wind tunnel, I don't think, will really pay a lot of dividends until 2025. But if they put everything else together well, and remember, even a couple of years back, there were a sequence of 3 races where Lando could have won all 3 of them. So it's within touching distance, and he must be mortally wounded that actually it was Piastri who saw the checkered flag first.
Yeah.